For Thursday, February 18th, 2016. It's my first meeting since the new year, so Happy New Year, everyone. Glad to see everyone. I haven't had this, so Matt, welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Well, great to have you here. Obviously taking place of Noah Cutler, which we thanked him last time, but I'm going to thank him again in case he's watching for all of his great work on the board throughout the years. We have one matter to go through tonight. We also have some organizational matters that we have to take on before we hear the appeal. But prior to getting into organizational matters, I'd like to ask everyone to stand and do a pledge of allegiance. So in terms of the organizational matters, we need to elect a chair, elect a vice chair, and appoint our solicitor. So with that, if someone would like a motion to appoint a chair or nominate a chair.
Nominate the current chair for renewal of his term for 1 year.
Get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Opposed? Thank you. We have a nomination for vice chair.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Mr. William Martin as vice chair.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Abstentions? So carried. Any motion to appoint John continuing as our solicitor?
Make a motion that Mr. Ryan be appointed solicitor for a term of 1 year.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Any abstentions? So moved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just clarify to move Matt up to a full voting member and then appoint Bud Hirsch as the alternate.
Thank you very much. Motion to move Matt to the board?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
You-
I have a discussion question. I
thought
thought the
that was
action of the
I
Board
figured that
of
too,
Commissioners
but-
was all that would be required to do that. They passed a resolution, presumably, appointing individuals to boards and commissions. And it's really, I believe, the commissioners' power to appoint to the board. Now, Kevin, I'm not sure if your question goes to any perceived ambiguity as to whether the new appointee onto the board is for a permanent position or an alternate position, which was not clear from the resolution that the commissioners adopted at the meeting where Mr. Hirsch was appointed onto the board.
Was not clear.
No, I don't believe there was any specifics. And historically, the alternate, when a member leaves, the current sitting alternate moves up into that position. I don't know if this board has made a motion to appoint that person officially or not. And then the new member coming in has historically been the alternate.
I believe there was a difference is when a board member leaves midterm, then it is possible for them to vote someone on. Now, I'm assuming Noah was midterm.
Noah's at the end of his first term.
He finished the end of his first term.
He finished his first term and chose not to
Got it.
stay on for a second term.
Okay, so we probably don't need a motion, I would assume then, to get him on the board if the commissioners.
Yeah, I mean,
unless
I
you say it's
I don't think we have the power to do it even if we wanted to. I think the commissioners appoint members to this commission, to this board.
to the board, and they say who's on the board versus an alternate.
Correct.
John, what do you thought?
I tend to agree with John. Commissioners make the appointments to the board.
Okay, Kevin, if
Well,
you could
yes,
if you
well,
check it if we need it. We do
Bud
the motion
was
next time.
appointed to the board. I don't know that they specifically said who would be the alternate or not. So yeah, you're not picking a resident to assign them to the board. Bud Hirsch was selected by the Board of Commissioners to sit on the zoning hearing board. I was suggesting that you would then assign him the role of alternate and move Matt up to the regular member. I don't think that was discussed at all in the resolution. I can go back and take a look at that.
Okay.
And I'm speaking from sort of my personal chronology. I was originally appointed as an alternate member to this board. And then Peter Craig left the board, and announcements went out for appointments to fill that spot. And I reapplied to the township to be considered for the permanent position and was appointed to the permanent position. So this is the reason why I'm raising this, because again, I think it's purely within the domain of the commissioners to do these things. And I don't think, even if we wanted to, and I think we do want to, but even if we wanted to, I don't think we can cure ambiguities in the resolution that appoints members to this board because it's the sensible thing to do. I mean, I just don't think we have the authority to do that.
But to the extent we determine there's an ambiguity, I think one approach may be to put on the record how we propose to proceed pending any clarification by the commissioners. Obviously, if we were to say it's our understanding that the intent of the commissioners were to have Matt serve as a member of the board and Bud to serve as an alternate, and we intend to proceed in that fashion, should we have been mistaken in our interpretation, we'll agree to be governed by any further guidance provided by the commissioners.
One of the points
Mike, John?
We have less, even if we had to, we don't have the power to promote Matt, we've got less, if we have no power to appoint Matt, we've got less than 5 full board members, in which case Matt automatically participates anyway. What I would suggest is that to the extent that we pass a resolution that to the extent that we can approve, we approve Matt as a full member and Bud as an alternate, and then I will get on the horn tomorrow with John Rice and tell him about this discussion, and you know, and put the matter to him and to the commissioners.
So you're recommending a vote?
Yeah, we've had a vote for Matt. Let's have a vote for Bud, and let it be understood that these votes are to the extent that we can make the call, we make it, but we don't presume to intrude on the commissioner's prerogative. And I will discuss this at my earliest opportunity with the township solicitor.
And I agree with that approach, John. I think instead of using the word appoint, it may be assign the position of alternate versus a full member. And it could be something as simple as getting a resolution in front of the board if your desire is to move in that direction, that would then outline in a resolution who the full members are and who the alternate member is. And it can be as simple as getting it resolved before your next meeting.
Yeah, but just for right now, let's just table it. I don't think, I prefer not to do a resolution until you come back and talk to John Rice. Because for right now, he's voting tonight. So he's a full member as far as I'm concerned tonight, because we need a 5th.
Yeah.
So if you can just get the question answered to your satisfaction by the next meeting, let me know, and if we need to do a resolution at the next meeting, we will. Because I would also like to, Bud needs to hear this as well, obviously, to make sure that he is clear where he sits on the board as well. So
He's not allowed to wiggle out of this.
What's that?
He can't wiggle out of this.
And John, to the extent that you do speak with the township commission, the solicitor, it would also be helpful if somewhere, either in our procedures or in some other appropriate location, that this issue be resolved conclusively
Yes.
on a going forward basis as well.
Yeah, no, I basically who passes the resolution. We either we do it, or I think the commissioners probably should do it, but leave a written document, a written record as to what it is that the
Yeah, and I was referring
has.
more to the automatic ascension of the alternate member to the active member, or whatever the terminology is, upon a vacancy or the expiration of a term.
Yes, I see. Okay.
Okay, with that, we're going to move to the first matter of the night. It's appeal number, or only matter of the night, Appeal 2962, the applicant Providence One Development, property located at 15 Oakford Road and zoned R3, seeks de minimis relief from Section 280-25E for a rear yard setback of 30.51 feet, where 35 feet is required for R3 zone. Who is here for the applicant?
Good evening. My name is Dave Hopkins. I am the owner of Providence One Development, which is the entity that owns 15 Oakford Road. We're here, the request tonight is to seek rear yard setback relief to complete a deck on the rear of the house. Previously,
I should swear you in now. If you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and the truth, nothing but
I
the truth?
do.
And state your full name once again.
David Hopkins.
Thank you.
So the reason I'm here tonight is to seek rear yard setback relief to install a deck, a rear yard deck off the back of the house. There was not a deck, I don't believe that there was a deck ever installed on the home. And the current shape of the lot is a pie-shaped lot, so it's an irregular shape. And with the cant of the home on that pie-shaped irregular lot, a portion of the rear deck extends past the setback line.
Why don't you run through your plan, so, and make sure everyone can see it
Everyone can see it on the screen. Great. Just run through the pie as you just described it.
No, just actually, should we label his exhibits? They're not labeled.
Sure.
Okay. The application, I'd like to label as A1. The deed would be A2. The plot plan prepared by JMR Engineering would be A3. And we have some photos which I think these ought to be numbered A. This would be A4A, the one that says front left. This one, which the legend is off my copy.
It's rear left side.
Okay, that's would be A4B. The one that is says rear, which is this piece, will be A4C. The one that, again, they're off the
That's rear right.
rear right. Oh, that's A4D. And the last photo, which doesn't
Front right.
front right, will be A4E. And that is the exhibits that you know, that is the extent of my package. Oh.
Yeah. That's left side, rear left.
Is it this picture here? Okay, that one I labeled A4B. This picture here,
That's the left side.
left side, let's make that A4F, because I think we're up to A4E.
You're going to be introducing the letter of support as well that you
I know-
received?
I know one, I believe one was dropped off today,
Was-
but I
what
don't
was
have
this?
it, I never, didn't have it as an
Okay, so you
exhibit.
would not be, so we should, at some point, we'll introduce that in evidence.
Pardon me?
The letter of support from 610 West Wing.
I have not got that.
It was in an email from Peggy, I think.
There was one that came in that we then sent to the board, and there should be a copy in the file.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that came in today
So
or
we might as
earlier
well
this
label
week.
label that one as whatever the next one.
A5?
A5.
This is from W. Bruce Buck, B-U-C-K. And the letter says, Radnor Zoning Hearing Board, I'm writing in reference to Zoning Hearing Board case number 2962 concerning the property located at 15 Oakford Road, Wayne, PA 19087. As a neighboring property owner, paren 610 West Wayne Avenue, close paren, I have reviewed the request and I feel it should be granted. Sincerely yours, W. Bruce Buck, and it's signed.
Dave, do you know where that property is in relation to this one?
I do. If you are looking, if you come around Oakford Road, you hit the intersection of Oakford and Arbordale. And then if you proceed out Arbordale, it hits West Wayne Avenue, and it's right on the other side of West Wayne Avenue.
You can continue.
So just to get oriented with the property, this is the street, so this is the large frontage of the street, kind of on a, it's not on a circle, so this is a street that starts on Arbordale and wraps around back to Arbordale, and this is on one of the pie-shaped lots here. The front door is here of the property, and this is the rear of the home. I'll outline the building envelope, and you can kind of see how the house sits at an angle in that pie-shaped building envelope. In the rear of the home, there are two doors, exterior doors. One is right here, and the other one is a sliding door in this area. And the grade from the first floor down to the ground is approximately 4.5 feet. And there were the deck plan would show come out of the side door, and there would be steps to grade over in this side area. So the idea is this, from the house to the proposed deck, would be 12 foot and approximately 22 feet in length along the rear of the home.
So to make it conform, what would the width have to be? Or depth, whatever you want to call
The
it?
depth, it would be approximately 7 feet.
So you're asking for at its greatest extent, an intrusion of a little less than 5 feet, right?
It's 4.5.
4.5.
At its max point out here, and then it obviously, as you kind of go along parallel with the home, it tapers back into the envelope.
Is this an open-air deck?
Yes.
Would you be willing to accept a condition to the granting of relief that the deck not be enclosed and made part of the building?
You mean just open underneath, or?
No, that you can't, you can't wall in the deck and build an addition and
Absolutely.
rooms and all that kind of stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
You know the total square footage that you're looking for in that little triangle?
In that little triangle, it's approximately 32 square feet.
32? Okay. And how big is the property itself?
The property itself,
Guesstimate, if you think.
I think it's other properties.
10,000 on the plan.
8.
Is it 10,000?
Oh, no, that's the.
I feel like I did, when I did the
Oh, that-
building permit, I have to look, I had filed a building permit, I can check, but,
Less than 10, more than 10?
more, I feel like it's like 12,000.
Okay, so it's, all right.
Yeah, I can verify
Yeah,
that.
that's okay. I just want to know in comparison what we're looking at here. Okay, thank you.
And sorry, the area of the little triangle that would be intruding into the rear yard is approximately 32 square feet.
Yes.
Have you got any feedback from your neighbor on Lot 26, which looks like would be the most affected by this?
Yes, sir, he's here this evening.
Oh, okay. Terrific.
And I've also been able to talk to Lot 19 as well. He's not here tonight. He offered to come, but he's in support as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quick question for Kevin, perhaps. The agenda uses, it references R3, and the plan says R1. Do we know what district this is?
Let me check. I can look at the zoning map with my computer over here.
I'm fairly certain it's R3.
Has to be.
I don't have anything else further to explain.
Run through the pictures real quick? Just,
Sure.
Let us know what I think there's at least one picture where it shows where you think your deck is going to attach to the
Sure.
house and
If you,
stuff.
I guess the best representation of where the deck will go is A4C, which is labeled as rear.
Why don't you throw that on the camera if you can?
Okay.
And it doesn't appear like you're going to be disturbing a tree, any trees? Is that true?
No tree disturbance. So this picture was roughly taken kind of where my pen is here, looking at the rear of the home. So that door is right about in this area, kind of in the middle of in the deck. And that tree that is in the picture is here. So it'll be off there quite a bit.
You stated you don't believe there's ever been a deck there, even though it kind of looks like it
I
had
didn't see any band joist or
no footings or
no
anything
footings or
like
anything like that. There might have been out the back, maybe on the, you can't see the,
Yeah, it's torn down either way, so.
The door.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay.
you ever seen a deck?
If you'd like to testify, you have to come up and get sworn.
Sir, if you'll raise your right hand, you do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
And state your full name, please.
Steve Russell, 1 Oakford Road.
I'm sorry,
1 Oakford Road. So I am the property to the right of that picture. My property faces that way.
Behind, you will see the deck.
I'm sorry?
You see the rear of the
Yes,
property.
that's correct.
Okay,
Right.
that's great.
There was never a deck, we've been there for 12 years, there was never a deck there. In fact, those doors didn't exist.
Right.
That was the back of the house. And where you see the tree, behind that tree, there was a door there. There's a door there now, and there was a door there before. But the stairs were never there. They must have rotted, and the resident that lived there before never replaced the stairs, so they were gone. So that piece that's missing there was left by the contractor, so he could attach the deck to the framing of the house without putting the siding up,
Mr. Russell, you've heard what the purpose of the granting of the requested variance is. Do you have any objection?
No, I
as
have
a
no
neighboring
objection.
property?
I mean, I walked, I know how that property looks both from inside my yard and outside my yard, and I have no objection to it.
Thank you.
Okay, with that?
Mr. Chairman, I was able to look, the property is actually split zoned R2 and R3, but the portion of the house and where the deck is at is zoned R3. There's just a small sliver that is R2 right at the curve at the top of the page there, but
Great,
the
thank you.
entire house and that structure is R3.
Amazing. Are you finished with your testimony?
I am.
Okay, great. So would you like to enter your exhibits into the record?
Yes.
Great. Are there any questions for the applicant? No? Any motions that anyone would like to make?
Chairman, I move that the applicant be granted the relief sought in the application.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Any abstentions? So moved.
Do you want the condition in there about not enclosing it, or do you,
And per the drawings,
per the drawings?
as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a good night. With that, Thursday, February 18th meeting is adjourned. Thank you for everyone for watching.